I want to introduce Cheryl Sally with Benedict College Women's Business Center. She's going to give you an overview of the services that her office provides.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Aisha, and thank you to the City of Columbia for hosting this great workshop. I have my pen and paper ready to receive everything that all the wealth of knowledge that Mr. Smith is going to lend to us today. But thank you to the City of Columbia, SBA, Mr. Smith for putting this on and inviting the Benedict College Women's Business Center to be a part of it. I serve as the director at the Benedict College Women's Business Center. We're pretty much, I still call us new. We launched back in September, but we are one of the business development resource providers here in South Carolina. And our purpose, our vision, our mission, if you roll it all together, it's pretty much to create a gateway out of poverty for our socially and economically disadvantaged women entrepreneurs here in South Carolina. And we do that by partnering with the many business resources, by providing the training, the education, the information that our women, our entrepreneurs need to start and or grow their business. And it's up to them to take ownership and use the information. We partner, like I said, with the resources around the area. And the ultimate goal is to allow individuals to leave a legacy for their families and in this community. While we focus on women entrepreneurs, we do not discriminate. We will help anyone, regardless of race or gender. We do focus on for-profit businesses. We provide an array of services, everything from guidance on business planning, strategic planning, how to market, tips and tools of the trade, resiliency and recovery planning, government contracting and certification, providing that information, just networking, so on and so forth. And everything we do is at no cost. All of the one-on-one consulting is at no cost. So we're here to help, we're here to serve, provide the education, the tools that they need, and to do it like we're doing it today, to partner, collaborate with our entities around the community and around the state. So we really do thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. If you need us, call us. We are here to help. Our slogan, it is our pledge to work side by side with the women entrepreneurs and local businesses to retain and build industry and commerce, create jobs, and improve economic opportunities for all communities. So thank you again. And I have my pen and paper ready, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Cheryl. And also her contact information is on the screen. And Kalina, thank you so much. She's also provided it in the chat box if anyone needs to contact Cheryl and her staff. Next, we have Miss Angela Brewer with SBA. Oh, you're on mute, Angela.
Okay, for the slow people, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Aisha. I am sorry about that. I was on mute. Good morning, everyone. My name is Angela Brewer. I am a business opportunity specialist with the South Carolina District Office of SBA. They have unfortunately put my phone number on the screen, so you all can call me if you all have any issues with SBA. But I can't handle them, but you can call me. But I am a business opportunity specialist, and I work mostly with small business trying to grow your business by getting into federal contract. SBA has 4 programs. We have the access to capital. We do not loan money. Everybody always call SBA for money. We don't loan money, but we have access to capital to assist small business. We guarantee, we like the FHA or the loan, we guarantee up to 75 to 80% of loan, which means you have to come up with 20, 25% in collateral. We have the micro loan, which is $50,000 or less, the 504 loan, and the 7A loan, which is $5 million to $10 million or less. And then we have the SBA Express loan, which is $350,000 or less. All these loans are, you have to go through a bank to receive, but they're SBA backed loans, so that's why SBA name is on them. But you must go through a bank to apply for these loans. And in order to apply for these loans, you would need a business plan. On the right side of the screen, you will see our resource partners. Cheryl have already introduced herself. She is also one of SBA resource partners that does our counseling for us. So if you are in need of a loan, you must have a business plan in order to get that loan. Even with the city loan programs, you have to have a business plan. So I will encourage you to see one of our resource partners in order to get that business plan. So when you go into the bank, you won't go in there just looking like me right now, crazy because I was speaking and I was on mute. But you can go in there and be prepared. You need your taxes. So if you have not filed your taxes, please go ahead and get your taxes done. And you would need a profit and loss and balance sheet. Those are considered financial. So those are the things, 3 of the top things that lenders look for or require when you go into a bank in order to apply for a loan. We also have a contracting program. We have 8A, Woman on Economic Disadvantage, Service Disadvantage, Disabled Veteran, and the Hub Zone program. And we offer counseling through our resource partners. We do some counseling because I've been busy this week. We do some counseling for one-on-one counseling for clients, but most of our counseling, we refer them to our resource partners. They can do a more extensive, in detail counseling with clients. And we offer disaster. As everyone knows, we are currently going through, look like we might get ready to go back into the pandemic. And we offer resources for the pandemic, for any natural disaster like tornadoes or storms or hurricanes that come through. The SBA disaster team, not the district office, the disaster team, we offer financial assistance through SBA disaster team, and that could be done online. So those are the programs that SBA offer. My information was on the front, but I think Kalina, or I can put it in the chat, my email address. So if you have, if you need any assistance, please reach out to us, and we are answering our phones. We're still working from home, but we are answering our phones, and we are doing one-on-one team meetings with clients that need further assistance. Thank you so much, Kalina, for having me, letting me bombard your program and getting on here to speak about SBA programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. We really appreciate our partnerships with SBA and the Benedict College Women's Business Center. All of us have a strong passion for helping our business community. So we are definitely here as a resource, and we're available to provide additional information if you have any questions. So now I want to introduce Mr. Paul Smith. He's the CEO of Best Carolina LLC, and he serves as a lead instructor for the South Carolina Community Loan Fund's Local Entrepreneur Accelerator Program. He's also a certified next level facilitator specializing in business startups, existing businesses who wish to grow, micro enterprises, and specialty training in agriculture-based ventures, going green, signage, and money management. Additionally, Paul is a certified fast-track new venture trainer with the Kauffman Foundation. He has been a college instructor since 2004, teaching all aspects of business curriculum. He received his BS, a double major in finance and risk management from the University of South Carolina, go Gamecocks, and an MBA in business from Webster University. We are so excited to have Paul with us today. Early on in the pandemic, we identified that the state of our small businesses' finances were not in order, and it was very important that they build a strong financial infrastructure. So we are excited to have Paul here. And Paul, I'm going to let you take it over.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So let's see, here we go. Okay, great. And I want to say a special thanks to the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Melissa Lindler and Aisha, community partners, Cheryl Sally, who is a wealth of resource knowledge, Angela Brewer. And ladies and gentlemen, you will see throughout my presentations how the intersections will all come together with all these business partners against the backdrop of COVID-19. I'd like to always be very interactive, so I'll ask for volunteers. Thank you, Carly and Kalina, for monitoring that chat room. So we're going to get started. Again, this is the first of 3. And please, let's come from this from a perspective of a learning ecosystem. And I want to start first and foremost by the work, for the most part, has already been completed. The city of Columbia, again, I cannot say enough, they conducted a survey, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not going to go through all of the surveys, like 54 pages. However, I want to focus, and I'm going to take you to this in a second, on a few questions as it relates to COVID-19. And just when we thought, the skies were clear again, now we're at this new strain, and business owners, this new strain on your businesses, supply chains, current events. Wells Fargo has just closed. Again, this actual survey specifically, we're going to analyze questions 4, 6, 8, 10, 16, and 17. Okay, and in the chat room, you can certainly respond. Do you agree? Here we go. Let's do this. I want to ensure, can everyone see this, the actual survey?
No, it's not up anymore, Paul.
Okay, let's go right here. We go. What about now? We're good? Okay, all right, let's go down. Questions 4, 6, 8, and 10, okay, 16 and 17. 431 responses. So class, again, this is awesome. Here we go. Gender, female. This is almost a direct quote from Mayor Steve Benjamin a couple of years ago. He said, the future is female. So you can see female business owners. I commend you and applaud you, those who are considering that business enterprise. No issues there. All right, that's 4. Six. Overwhelmingly, okay, again, the numbers are there. Women, Black or African American, persons of color. Secondly, our Caucasian and or white. All right. Are you doing business with the city of Columbia? And you should, okay? The city of Columbia is all about business. All the opportunities that are there that have been mentioned previously by Aisha. All right. I'm just warming you up. Here we go. 10. Here's the opportunity in this COVID environment. Other. Look at other, ladies and gentlemen, 32.48% other. The research has already been completed, the other. So some of you who are in related industries, restaurant, retail, construction, perhaps your strategy, an ingenious plan or idea, according to Webster, is to attack this slice of the pie called other. Because in COVID, remember, 25% reduction in your supply, your customers, all of the above. Where's the revenue going to be generated? So this is all the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities website. What type of business do you own? 431 responded. You see the real estate, you see the nail salons, beauty, all of the above, but 32.48%. Huge opportunity there. All right, 2 more and we'll move on. And we'll put the links to this actual survey in the chat, okay? Let's do 16 and 17 in the essence of time. Here it is. What were your top concerns, ladies and gentlemen, in operating your business during COVID-19? And as Ms. Brewer has alluded to, we're back into this, okay? Now we're back into another COVID scenario. Reduction in customer demand. To a lesser degree, close. As a matter of fact, someone in the chat room, just second or even first, if my eyes are not deceiving me, lack of cash flow, right here. These were the two. This is COVID-19, COVID-21, whatever you want to call it, of 431 responses. Okay, that's 16. Here's 17. How was your business impacted by COVID-19? Reduction in customers, depletion of cash reserves. We'll refer to this survey early and often, Tuesday and or Thursday of next week, time permitting. But I just wanted to give you just an overview of where we are. And again, this is COVID-19, and we're now in the midst of another COVID-related scenario. So we're good there? Okay. All right, that being said, I need some volunteers. Okay, I'm going to go back to my slideshow as relates to, are you bankable? Are you bankable? Okay. And in the chat room, please respond. Do you agree? Yes, no, or explain. And certainly Carla and Kalina will chime in with the responses there of the research there. I'm not questioning the research, but you can understand cash flow, reduction in customer demand. Those are the two. There's two glaring concerns for small and large business owners, I would say. All right, here we go. You've been quiet, not very long. Are you bankable? In the chat room, okay, I need someone. You can unmute your volume. How are you structured? Are you the sole proprietor? Are you the LLC, the subchapter S? Just talk to me, okay? You can do so electronically, all right? And I'm going to say, have you Googled yourself lately to see what appears? Your actual, we'll go into marketing more so on Tuesday, but just your online presence to a potential customer or business entity, all right? And I need some volunteers. Look at the Dunn and Bradstreet. Have you done enough to become street legal in South Carolina? When I'm facilitating the next level and also the lead, I'll ask my class, are you street legal? And here's where I'm referring to, and I need some volunteers. Who wants to volunteer? I need a business name, please. A business name. Not everyone at once. In the chat room, a business name. I'm going to go to chat.
Nothing in the chat right now.
Oh, come on, business owners. Oh, yeah, it's on.
We got okay, we got
Okay,
them
we
now.
have one.
Adam. We got Journey Changer Scholarship Solutions.
Okay, journey changes. Okay. I'm going to go. Here's where I'm going, class. Let's see. I'm going to the Secretary of State, Mark Hammond's office. Okay. And as you can see, well, they're doing business with the City of Columbia, Benedict College Women's Business Center, the SBA. That's being street legal. So here we go. Let's go to search. And Kalina, what was, let's see, I'm going to search, and this is just a cursory search. What was the first business name?
Journey Changers Scholarship Solutions.
Okay, what did you say before changers? What was it?
Journey, Journey.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you've not started this process, this is what the COVID-19, in the midst of this, Journey Changers, and what's the suffix?
Scholarship Solutions.
Simply put, I'm typing it in as verbatim. This name is currently being used. I had a seminar last night, and here's what I did. So again, all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to change the scholarship by changing one letter. Instead of the S, I'm going to change the S for simply a $sign. I'm going to spell the scholarship with a $sign. Talk to me, class. Talk to me. I'm going to keep it real. Yeah. Journey Changes. Now, someone, wait a minute. We just saw the name was taken. What did I just do? All I did was change one character. And the Secretary of State is telling me what? The name is what? Available. Again, someone has a comment. I heard someone say, okay, we're good. So do this. And again, I would certainly, through the Women's Business Center, through the City of Columbia, Office of Business Opportunities, there are attorneys, okay, who could offer, just as a cursory review, in some cases, an initial consultation that are versed in these areas here. Because what you do not want to occur is someone causing confusion on your brand, okay? So again, that's step one. Secondly, because you have your business name, look at your articles of incorporation. There are certain benefits. Who's the 51% owner if there's more than one? I just wanted to show that to you, okay? Just wanted to show that to you, all right? And now, DUNS. Have you done enough? Have you done enough? Okay, let's go into this. Can you hear this?
The Dun & Bradstreet DUNS number serves a variety of functions that can help your business grow. The DUNS number is a business identifier that is assigned to any business entity in the Dun & Bradstreet Data Cloud. Once that entity has been determined to be unique from any other in the data cloud, a DUNS number is assigned and becomes the anchor for its live business identity. DUNS numbers never expire and are never reused. The DUNS number brings 4 main benefits to customers of any size. Number 1, anchored by the DUNS number, Live Business Identity provides insights on companies in the data cloud, enabling you to better understand your potential business partners and them to better understand you. Live Business Identity delivers the ability to see connections between businesses, which can serve many business needs. This is essential for vetting suppliers, understanding sales prospects, and adhering to compliance rules. Number 2, the DUNS number is an essential identifier that is required to do business with many other companies and government agencies around the world, as it enables verification of business existence and identity. Number 3, for businesses of any size, the information in your business credit file, which is tied to your DUNS number, can help you qualify for contracts and traditional loans. This can be especially important to a startup or small organization. You can also use another company's credit file to help determine if you want to work with that business and under what terms. Number 4, for larger organizations, the DUNS number can serve as a common identifier to structure and standardize your own data as part of a master data management program or other enterprise data management initiative. See how the DUNS number can help you grow your business.
Okay, so as you can see, and when I'm making references to class, that's just a teacher in me, so I apologize. I'm not trying to place you back in the classroom. But as you can see, are you bankable? And we're going to transfer this into the actual 6 C's of credit and tips for working with your banker, okay? And I'm not going to literally insult your intelligence, but it's some tips here. Find a banker locally is what's being suggested, because they are familiar, locally owned banks, and I would insert credit unions as well. Later in this segment, we'll talk about CDFIs, the Community Reinvestment Act, and we'll circle back around to Cheryl's group at the Women's Business Center and some of the many benefits they have to you as a small business owner. But be prepared. Ms. Brewer said the business plan. And be honest. Brett, City of Columbia, they're going to ask you these questions. Okay, so be very factual. The last thing you want, ladies and gentlemen, is for a potential lender or investor to find out you've been withholding something. Okay, and that leads to what if scenarios. If they're being untruthful about this, then what about some others to include your numbers? Okay, the trust factor. And there again, I mentioned credit unions, banks locally. And I would start with someone that you have a familiarity with. Again, people tend to do business with those they like. And we'll talk about the strategies. It's called the credit reference letter. The credit reference letter, okay? And what this says in essence is if you've you've received credit from an agency or an entity, it's perfectly within your right to request that during the time you literally merchandise paid on time, that you want them to a letter with their letterhead saying that Paul, Best Carolina, we had a contract whereby he fulfilled all of the requirements in a timely fashion. This helps you, okay? Remember, strategy per definition, Webster's Dictionary, a strategy, an ingenious plan or idea. This translates into, and I am a business coach, to the 6 C's of credit. The first one, and I'm inserting this in COVID-19 per the survey conducted by the City of Columbia, cash flow. Cash flow. That's the lifeblood of the business, cash flow, okay? The other C, you see the character, capacity, collateral. I believe Angela Brewer said they guarantee up to 75%, which means where's the 25% coming from? In your notes, you might want to use a term called skin in the game. How much of your own you're going to put forward with this loan? Because basically now you have a vested interest in succeeding in paying off your loan obligations. The 6 C's of credit: cash flow. Tuesday, we'll look at the statements, a cash flow statement, the balance sheet, you heard those terms earlier, the personal finance statement as well on Tuesday. But at least here today, my last name is Smith. I will always check my credit report. You can do so 3 times a year for free, pro bono, annualcreditreport.com. Do that, regardless if you have a familiar last name or not. Identity theft. The last thing, again, in this COVID environment, we see this happening all too often. Someone has had their identity stolen, and now they're going through turmoil to recover that lost, what has been lost. So we're good? Okay. Someone is asking to be admitted, so I'm going to admit Deloria. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. How to improve. And this is textbook. I'll give you textbook, and I'll give you some tips and strategy, courtesy of Dave Ramsey, and some things I have advised my clients to do with success. Copies of your credit report. Been there, done that. Pay your bills on time regularly, okay? And just understand how the credit score is determined, which we'll go to in the next slide. The scoring. I'll show you the game, how the game is played. And we've said time and time again, sometimes you don't hate the players, you just hate the game, okay? And always, always be aware of these scams. You see them, I can fix your credit, paying $99 a month. You can do this on your own with the help of agencies, okay, partnerships, and it's not costing you anything. So we're good? Here we go. Here's the score, FICO. A picture's worth 1,000 words, as you can see. Hopefully by the end of today's segment, you will have an appreciation for the color purple and yellow, okay? Normally the tips and strategies you'll see highlighted in yellow, all things being equal, but here it is, your payment history. That's the largest slice. Secondly, the amounts that you owe, okay? On Tuesday, we'll discuss FICO 8, because lending institutions, although you may ask for your FICO score, they're using FICO 8, and they're emphasizing credit utilization rates. In essence, if you have $1,000 credit limit, if your utilization rate is above 400, that's like a 40% utilization rate. That affects your credit score. In the chat room, someone just tell me, in your mindset, what is a good credit score? In the chat, a good credit score, a good one. Anyone?
We got one response, 750.
Okay.
Next one, 700.
700 club is what I'm saying. Okay.
Next one, 720. Okay. Next one, 700.
Okay. So no one is saying 600. Great. Okay, 700 club. That's a good credit score. And when you have agencies like the City of Columbia and also CDFIs, they look at other factors beyond your credit score. We have Community Works have approved loans where the credit score was in the 600s because we look at the community, okay, the CDFIs. But all things being equal, for the traditional bank, the brick and mortar, the Wells Fargos of the world, the Bank of America, TD Bank, that's normally the cost of doing business. Otherwise, then you go to subprime, all right? Go. strategy, baby steps. I did not create this. I don't take ownership of it, but it works. Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has what's called the baby steps. The baby steps. And this is pre-COVID. The baby steps, $1,000 emergency fund, pre-COVID. Now in 2021, ladies and gentlemen, what would you think would be a safe emergency fund for a small business owner or someone starting or in a personal and or business? $1,000, is that still the price of entry? Remember, COVID being the case. Any numbers there?
We got 5,000, 3,000.
Okay. See, 5,000 and 3,000 again. Okay. An emergency fund. And an emergency is not the 4th of July. It's not back to school shopping. Okay. An emergency is just that. Secondly, it's paying off all debt except your mortgage. Okay. Because again, COVID opened a lot of eyes. Real estate's my background, and I know some real estate investors who are in modifications. They're near foreclosure with their mortgage companies because it's a domino effect. The domino effect was this. COVID, there was a moratorium. They had mortgages to pay. The moratorium relieved their tenants from paying rent. You see where I'm going? And now it's causing a cash flow crunch. And some are selling at fire sales to rid themselves of that debt. And last, have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses in cash. Here's the debt snowball in essence. And I'm referencing Dave Ramsey Solutions, Dave Ramsey's baby steps. But again, $1,000 may have worked 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now I would say not. I would say not. Okay, at least 3,000 to 5,000. And some would ask the question, well, Paul, how? How can you? Where's the money coming from? Well, stimulus could be one source. That's money we did not expect. Those who are entitled to a stimulus. So again, understanding, having that cushion for the eventual. Okay, life is all about changes. All right. And here's another strategy. I know it works because I've advised clients to do this. Again, this is not paying a credit repair agency anything. And I'm going into the business aspect because lenders will look at your personal credit, and most small business owners have not developed their Dun and Bradstreet or business credit profile. So all you have to provide is your personal credit. Here's a scenario or a strategy whereby you're trying to establish or rebuild your credit. Credit unions will normally allow $500 or $750. I'm referring to Palmetto Citizens Credit Union since we're in the Midlands. But using your emergency fund or cash as collateral, it's called a secured collateralized loan. You're going to go into that same bank, local, you know the name of the manager. Look, I want to use my funds as collateral, skin in the game for a loan of $500. And I'm emphasizing a local bank. Any bank or credit union, some banks will say $1,000, but a credit union, a little less, you're a member. They have no risk, ladies and gentlemen, because here's why. Your funds are used as collateral in the event of a default. That's a strategy. Bullet point number 2. Personal finance is 80% behavior. They will provide you with the loan of $500 or $1,000. Do not spend it. Put that same $500 in this account. Okay? Remember, personal finance is 80% behavior. So now if you had $1,000 and you've asked for a secured loan of $500, your savings account now has $1,500. Here's what's key. Each month, use those monies that you've borrowed to pay them back without spending a dime. How is this strategic? The banking or lending institution has to report to every major credit bureau every month you've made payments on time, all the time. And your credit score will begin to increase or to be established. I've already asked the question, what's a good credit score? And you've already outlined that, okay? So again, just some tips on credit. What if I'm already there? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's some resources. We're going into further COVID-19 resources. And you see, I have this as some links SCORE.org, Service Corps of Retired Executives. Here's an actual link, balancing work, family, and life amidst COVID-19 pandemic. And I just had a link here for the actual survey, courtesy of the City of Columbia. But you see, Benedict College, Women's Business Center. I want to go to this. Again, Cheryl's online. Again, we'll get all iron sharpens iron. This is a valid resource. I was going to show to you some of the, this one key feature that's on that website. Here we go. On their website, COVID-19 updates. Again, COVID-19 updates. Here's what's key. Resources. South Carolina resources and federal resources. Let's keep this in the state, South Carolina. The links there. And one bullet point, Cheryl, I want to focus on. It's the business interruption insurance there. Here it is. If you're a small business owner, protect. Look at this. This is key. And I'm referring everyone to, thank you, Cheryl, Benedict College Women's Business Center. Okay? Here it is. Because you have to understand we have liability insurance. Okay? And she's the subject matter expert on this, but her department there. Potential losses, interruption from acts of God, all of the above. Seek this out because, again, most small business owners who were affected will not be able to recover as a result of COVID, despite all the best intentions. But I want to thank again. Here's where did we locate this? The actual Women's Business Center. It's a resource for everyone. So I want to cover that. Okay, and they have several links, but I just want to point this one out in particular. Okay? As you can see, they're federal resources. It's there on the campus of Benedict College. If nothing else, in these three sessions, we want to develop an ecosystem, an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Where to go? Okay, you have the SBA, someone who's in person that you know. You also have the Women's Business Center, Cheryl, and the ladies there do a phenomenal job. All right, I'm going to go back into my PowerPoint. An acronym. So now you have the CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution. I'm just going to explain this. I'm not going to read this verbatim because, again, I'm not going to insult your intelligence here. But they're not in competition with local banks. Instead, they work in conjunction. And I'll refer to the Community Reinvestment Act later. There'll be a lot of acronyms that I utilize, as you can see. SBA, CDFI, all of the above. Offering an alternative to individuals and families who may not be bankable at traditional. You don't have the 750 credit score. You see where I'm going? All things work together. Okay. In fact, they're a top referrer. So Bank of America might not refer you to Wells Fargo because they're direct competitors, but they will refer you, or NBSC or Synovus Bank now, to a CDFI. And you might be asking, well, Paul, what is a CDFI and where are they? Well, there are 20 in the state of South Carolina. And there are two of them I'm very familiar with. And so please, I'm going to just show you the actual listing of all 20. And in your chat, please, I want this to be interactive. Just tell me if you know of any of these CDFIs throughout the state. Okay, again, two of them I'm very familiar with. Just in the chat room. And some are statewide, some are local. So again, this is being streamed throughout. So I might have some members on this call who are from Sumter, or they can be in the Low Country. I'm just going to go on down the list, but there are two that I'm very familiar with. And you can see statewide. Who banks are referring to. Again, my office is on 1225 Laurel Street. I'm with Community Works. So again, I'm very familiar with that. We're headquartered in Greenville. And these are certified. So always the question, are you certified? Okay, always.
We got one that says they know of Ames and Community Works.
Okay, good deal, good deal. And my goal in all this, all of those of you who are registered for this call and will also view this later in the recording, please identify 4 to 5. This is the alternative. Here's that ingenious plan or idea. Here's that thinking outside of the box. Well, the bank is saying they're not willing to make this loan. Ask them about, do they partner with a CDFI? Okay, and again, so that's a key. All right, so I'm gonna scroll down. Some are specific, as you can see this. South Carolina Community Loan Fund, yes, that's the LEAP program and the Feeding Innovation. So I'm very familiar with them as well. Okay. Any others in the chat room, Kalina?
We got one more that said that Community Works is now called Self-Help.
Well, they have a credit union, Self-Help Credit Union. That is correct. Great, you've done your homework. But there are 20. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 20. These are for those individuals. And I would strongly emphasize, because we've made loans, case in point, and I'm just digressing, we've made loans to business owners in the amount of $10,000, $20,000 where their credit score was less than 600 because we are a CDFI. That's key. So in your toolbox, your COVID toolbox, think about these CDFIs, okay? CDFIs.
And we got an additional comment in the chat. Angela Brewer, thanks, Angela. She let us know that Climb Fund was formerly Charleston LDC.
Okay. So again, thank you, Angela, for that clarification. But again, CDFIs, okay, and that's how the game works. Now, banks are also, if you're the traditional banks, they're governed by an act. In 1977, it's called the CRA. I know I'm hitting you with acronyms throughout. CDFI, CRA. That's why you'll have the benefit of this recording. But again, they're tasked with encouraging banks, a strong encouragement to help meet the credit needs of your local communities. So whenever you're speaking to your banker, okay, or credit union, just ask them, okay, about the CRA and some of their projects they've been able to assist with as relates. Optus Bank, all of the above. So I'm calling out names here of key participants, okay, low and moderate income neighborhoods. All right, so we're good. I said, hopefully you'll appreciate the color purple and or yellow. Purple, obviously Benedict College, but here. And Angela, this is Angela's wheelhouse, SBA. Okay? SBA. Now, we're just about, I want to go to this quickly right here. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go to this. I was in a webinar, an SBA webinar, thank you very much, and it was talking about this. Now, give me a second. Because I'm always asked the question, Paul, is it a loan or is it a grant? And here we go. As you can see, COVID-19, again, targeted EIDL advanced and supplemental targeted advanced, okay? It's another acronym, but here it is. These advances are similar to a grant, but without the typical requirements that come with a U.S. government grant. Here is strategy, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, specifically, I'm going to drill down, and I'll provide these links to you in the essence of time, okay? Now, you do not need to accept a loan, look at this, or be approved for the loan to receive an advance. I'm going to highlight this, okay? Per their verbiage, you do not. So you don't have to borrow to pay back, all right? Before you apply, there's a map, and we'll go to the map, and I'll ask for volunteers with zip codes, because there's some requirements. And again, Ms. Brewer is there, Cheryl is online as well. Here's a targeted EIDL advance, up to $10,000, okay? But here are the requirements. Are in a low income community, you can demonstrate more than 30% reduction in revenue during, again, this is profit and loss that was mentioned earlier. You see where I'm going, or your tax returns, your Schedule C. Have 300 or fewer employees. Pretty much 99% of the audience today falls in that category, 300 or fewer employees. Here's the mapping tool. Okay. And here's the supplemental. So roughly, there are monies out there that you can apply. You have to apply. But if you're providing a loan, it's saying you don't have to accept the loan to receive this advance. That's thinking outside of the box. And here, the supplemental provides a supplemental payment of $5,000 that does not have to be repaid. Again, this is not, it's in black and white, okay? We're gonna go to the mapping tool, and I need some volunteers with some zip codes. Here we go.
We got one zip code that just came in the chat.
Oh, okay, all right, one zip code. All right, here's the map. I just clicked on it. Here's the map. All right, just looking at this map, can everyone see the map? Just give me a thumbs up. Can you see the map? Purple is a good color as it relates to this. What do you mean by that, Paul? Because purple means here, yes. Yellow means, you see where I'm going. So again, I said you might want to appreciate a couple color purple. All right, Kalina, what's the zip code?
First one, 29203.
Wow. Now look, I'm gonna click on it. Again, this is the federal guy, and I don't agree with certain areas, but you can see it's almost in yellow. Okay. Another zip code again.
But Paul, this is Angela Brewer. May I make mention? As you can see how the outline orange there covers some yellow and some purple, you must put in your exact address. You cannot just put the zip code. You need your exact address, because as you can see, although it's in the zip code 29203, not the entire zip code is not considered yes.
Okay, so that same thank you, Angela. So that same volunteer, give me your specific address. This is next. This is really thinking outside the box. Go for it. What is it?
Okay, what don't have
Any address. No one wants to give me their address.
We got one. We got it. 2433 Chappelle Street. CHAPPELLE Street.
And that's Columbia.
Yes.
Just a little quick note. There's a church called Chappelle Memorial, and the great grandson of the pastor is a famous comedian. Talk to me. Who is it?
Okay,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Okay. And the zip code is what? What's the zip code?
29203.
I think I see purple. Okay. So as you can see, okay. So again, just want to cover that. And then with the zip code, again, and I know some of you, for personal reasons, don't want to put in your actual full address, but do this. The link is there. And my point is, funds are available, granted to you, okay? Granted to you. So I want to cover that, all right? And then 29, as you can see, I think all of Lexington is pretty much, now there are pockets of Lexington. You see my point? So again, just want to show, do this for yourselves. And thank you, Angela, for that clarification. So outside of this webinar, please do that. Those funds are available, key, that do not have to be paid back. And especially most of your businesses are local in nature, and this can provide that seed capital that's necessary. So very necessary, okay? So get a policy map, and that's based on what? The SBA. And who's our point of contact there? We have Angela Brewer with the Women's Business Center. We have Cheryl and her staff. We have the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, okay? We're almost quitting time here for today, but let's do this. I'm gonna stop sharing and go into my screen here. That's just a little captured from the movie The Color Purple, and never lose sight of crowdfunding. Examples include Kickstarter, okay, Indiegogo as well. And we have GoFundMe is pretty much for personal type reasons, but crowdfunding, your business. Just wanted to cover that. SCORE did this. SCORE completed an impact on small business, okay? And I looked at their impact. It was almost a mirror image of the city of Columbia's, okay? I just added at the very bottom of this, my own little acronym for COVID, cost of victory increased dramatically. Your costs for supplies, materials, employees, COVID-19. But you can see the pivot here. And to your left, here's a can of Lysol. Lysol, ladies and gentlemen, has human coronavirus. But why was not Lysol effective in combating COVID-19? We're about to wrap up. Someone tell me. It's on the back of the bottle. In the chat, in your opinion, on the back of your Lysol, they are protected against human coronavirus. But what was so different that made it ineffective last year?
It says exposure time. One person commented exposure time.
It was generically effective against human coronavirus, but there was a different strand. We call it COVID what? 19. Business owners, there'll always be something that pops up. You see, that will cause you to pivot. It can be COVID-25. It can be your supply chain. Remember, reduction of customer demand. You were a mom and pop restaurant without the capability of having a drive-through window. Dave and Buster's had a COVID-19 impact. Folks weren't coming. No, we're not going in closed anywhere. Okay? So understanding this is not a matter of if, but when. And those who were successful, the common traits of those that thrived, they were flexible. Remember that 32% of other, there's a pie chart that says there's an other slice of business that's there. Modify and adjust. Excellent communication. Communicating with your customers, your suppliers early and often, and a certain degree of social responsibility and be creative, thinking outside of the box. If nothing else, this has caused us to do is to think outside of the box. It's 10:59. I'm being respectful for your time. This is segment one. Any questions in the chat or comments?
No questions in the chat right now.
We're good. Okay, so this is session one. Normally, and now
I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith, we just got a question. Can you go over, or if you haven't, this will be covered another time, the list of grant sources?
Okay. I just alluded to earlier, this is the SBA, in specifically for small business owners. And on Tuesday, I can provide it with a link of grants, possible grants that are available to small business owners on Tuesday. So I can do that on Tuesday. I'll make myself a note to do that. Great.
Okay, another question, and they just wanted to know, will the PowerPoint be available later?
I am Ms. Worthy. I am certainly to Kalina and Aisha. I have no problem with this sharing this PowerPoint. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, next question is, can you simplify the advance? Is it a loan or grant?
Okay, now the targeted, great question. The targeted, and I'm just going to their website. Okay, I'm just going to their website. And we have, and who's our direct point of contact with the SBA? In the chat room. You heard her earlier.
Don't call me.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Everybody call her.
The targeted EIDL is they say not to call it a grant, but isn't a grant, it's an advance. You have to be social and economic disadvantage. You have to have an impact. You have to live in your business have to be in a low income area in order to receive the targeted EIDL and the supplemental advance from SBA. You have to go to COVID, the number 19 relief.sba.gov in order to, or you can click right there and apply for the grant. It's not just given to you. You have to apply for it. It's just, I think it's 2-3 pages of business information. If you don't have a tax ID number, if you are a sole proprietor, you can use your social. We get calls all the time, so my name is on the list. Your name, this right here is not for that list purpose, but when you apply for federal funding, it becomes public knowledge. So it's not like we are putting your name out there, but when you apply for federal funding, it becomes public knowledge. SBA is not putting your name out there, but if you're applying for federal funds, your name can appear on the list that somehow get out there. But yes, it's considered a grant. You don't have to pay it back. You don't have to disclose what you paid it on. But if you apply, when you apply for the grant, it also puts you in line for the SBA EIDL loan. You can deny the loan if you don't want it. If you get approved, you do not have to accept it. But as Mr. Smith, myself, and Cheryl have stated, we are getting ready to go back into a pandemic. If you are approved for some fundings, it's a 30-year loan fund. 30-year loan that you have a 3.75% interest rate. At monthly, you can probably pay $100 a month. It does not start until next year. So you have to keep in mind, if you are approved for these funding, get them, accept it, because you don't know, a month from now, 2 months from now, the country might be shut down again, and it might be a long time before you get some assistance. So if you get approved for the loan, although you may not need it right now, use it as working capital. Keep someone working. Keep your business operational, because a month from now, 2 months from now, this new strain that's going on, we don't know what may happen. And the funding's supposed to end, as of right now, December 31st.
Angela, we got some questions for you in the chat. The first question is from I am Miss Worthy. She wants to know, I received an email that EIDL deadline was July 31st in Connecticut. Does the deadline differ from state to state?
No, the EIDL is December 31st. It has always been the 31st. It was the 31st of 2020. Now it's the 31st of 2021 is the deadline for applying for the EIDL.
And she also wanted to know about, is this information useful for those who are starting businesses?
No, you have to have been in business as of February 2020 in order to receive any SBA funding as of the EIDL. I won't even mention the other one. I don't want to get them started.
Okay. Great question. And thank you, Angela. Again, subject matter experts class. Again, subject matter experts. And I'm glad she was on the call there. How about those of us? Okay, that's been answered. Any further questions here? We've kind of slightly gone over, but that's good. That's good. So for next week, again, if you've not already done so, please, your credit score, check it in the midst of COVID, obviously. Reach out to me. You have my direct cell number as well. We'll go into part 2, and I made a note, grants in general for small business owners. And remember, the CDFI, there are 20 of them registered in the state of South Carolina. So anything else you want to share? Someone was trying to call me right now. I'll answer your call offline. Thank you for making a phone call. I've already received one phone call. This is good. Going once, going twice. Aisha, okay, this concludes session 1, the first of 3, and we'll see you again on Tuesday. I'll defer back to Aisha.
Thank you so much. I have a page full of notes. That was great. I like what you said about the business ecosystem. We all are here to be a resource to you, to your business. So if you have any questions or concerns, or you need clarity on something, I encourage you to contact our office, and we'll make sure we connect you with the appropriate person. As Paul mentioned, next Tuesday and Thursday, we have sessions 2 and 3. On Tuesday, we'll be going over the cash flow projections and simplified business plan. And then on Thursday, it's entitled Skills to Pay the Bills. So we are very excited. Paul, this was a wonderful session. We love how you broke it down. It was very understandable. I encourage anyone coming next week to come with questions and be ready to participate. You will receive an email from our office this afternoon. It will include a survey as well as the presentation for today. I know we had a couple of people ask that. I'll also provide you with a link to the recording of today's session. And I'll also include the survey results. Well, I think Kalina included the link in the chat, but I will also send a copy of those survey results if you want to go over those as well. I think that's it. Melissa, do you have any final words?
I just want to say thank you again for joining us. And again, one thing we need to do more of is share information. So if you know some other fellow business owners that can use this information and use the expertise of Mr. Smith and others on this call as resources, please share. Please encourage them to take the time to invest in themselves by sparing an hour just to hear this information. Once it is available, feel free to share it with other business owners or those that are thinking about going into business. Right now, I think we're about to head into some other additional unknown areas we may have. Prepared we are, I think the better we can sustain and get through it. But we're all in this together, and we're all here to serve you as a resource. And it's not a cost for this information. So why not make that investment in yourself and in your businesses? So again, thank you so much. And Aisha, great job with this. Paul, thank you. That was fantastic. And I plan on listening to it a couple of more times as well, because there was a lot of great nuggets that you dropped on us, as you always do. So I'm looking forward to next Tuesday and Thursday as well. And thank you, our partners, Cheryl and Angela. We can't do what we do without you guys. So we're all in this. And as you can see, they're on this call, and they're on this call for a reason, because they want you to know they're there. And they want you to know that there's assistance out there to help you. So again, thank you. I'm not sure. I hope we don't have any other partners that I've left out, or any other city departments that may be on this call. If so, please feel
Public
free.
Relations. Shout out to public relations.
Awesome. Yes, as always, public relations is our partner in crime as we put these events together. We can't do what we do, and we can't get information out to you without them. So shout out to Leisha Utsi and her dynamic team for working with us and making this information available to you in a timely manner. So again, if there's anything that you need, please call on us. We're here, and we want to help you. Thank you.
Cheryl, did you want to say final words?
Excuse me. I think everyone has said everything. Just to the business owners or the individuals looking to get into business, we're passionate about what we do here to help you all, and just want to make sure, my thing is making sure that you have a strong and solid business foundation. These are foundational tools. When Paul gets in next week talking about cash flow, you really need to know it's one of the systems, one of the main systems in your business, your financial system, your cash flow system, as well as the other ones. That's your infrastructure. So we're passionate about making sure that your infrastructure is strong, so you can experience long-term, sustainable, positive cash flow, net profits in your business, your financial system, your marketing system, your HR, performance management. All of those are so important to your business and the sustainability and success of your business. And we're here to help. We are the resources here to help. And I'm just going to keep saying that. Take ownership. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to knock our doors down. You can't do it in COVID, but you can blow our phones off the hook and bombard our emails, and So we're here. That's what we do. And there's you don't know what you don't know. There are a lot of resources in South Carolina to help you at no cost. a wealth of knowledge around in South Carolina. That's it. Thank you all so much.
And Cheryl, I'm glad you mentioned that. Again, be skeptical. I think I'm saying it right. Of people coming at you and trying to charge you for either assistance with putting together an SBA application or giving you direction or preparing a loan package for you. Contact one of us before you spend money. Contact one of us before you share your information about your business with that person. There's so many scams going on right now, and people are at home with nothing else to do but scam you and spook you and call you and aggravate you. So just be very, very careful about that. You have resources here at no cost. And the other thing I want to say is nothing in life comes free, and anything worth having, you have to work on and work diligently to do. So it does require some work on your part. So nothing worth having will not require some labor. And you need to invest in yourself and in your business by taking the time to do some of that stuff on your own. I just want to share that with you. Angela, did you want to say anything?
Again, thank you, City of Columbia, for having me. As they stated, the EIDL, Target EIDL, is the only pandemic funding that we have available right now. The other thing that I will not mention is gone. It ended May 31st. So the only thing that, I will mention the PPP. If you receive the PPP loan, you receive less than 150K. There is a quick access forgiveness portal that you can go to. I will give to Aisha. So before she sends out the presentation, I will send her the quick portal. It's real simple. It's an easy access. I think it's called Express forgiveness application that you can do now. If you receive less than $150,000, you don't have to go back through your banks. That I know a lot of you who did receive are not hearing back from the bank because they're still bombarded with trying to fill the PPP. So if you receive less than $150,000, there's a quick access portal that you can go to that you can request forgiveness from the PPP loan. But the EIDL, Target EIDL Advance, is very simple. It should take no more than 15 minutes. It's a 3-pager that it should take no more than 15 minutes to complete. Like Melissa stated, if someone is asking you for funding, I said don't give my number out, but you can reach out to me. It takes, like I say, sometimes I know we're dealing with federal government, the word and the verbiage can be scary, for better words. And if you're having an issue with filling out or don't know what should go in a certain area on the EIDL, I do take the lunch break. You know, you can give me lunch or something like that, but you ain't got to give me no money. But you can reach out to me and I can assist you with filling the application out. You know, it takes no more than 15 minutes and I can spare 15 minutes of my time instead of you paying hundreds of dollars to someone who can do the same thing. You can do the same thing they can do for 15 to 20 minutes. So my information is in the chat. So please reach out to me if you need any assistance with doing the EIDL or the Target EIDL. SBA do not have any grants available right now, but the EIDL, the Target EIDL, and the supplemental are the only fund that FBA has available right now as far as the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, again, and thank you everyone for participating. We look forward to seeing you all next week, and please look out for an email from our office later on this afternoon. We hope you all stay safe and have a great rest of your day. Bye.